Hey healthcare providers, I wanted to chat with you a little bit today about EHR and templates and macros and getting your documentation done. A lot of times when we hear and use the word templates when talking about documentation, it's with a little bit of trepidation, and as a healthcare provider who was audited, and in my findings I was actually told that my documentation appeared templated. So templates are a great way in lots of situations and businesses to transmit a lot of information that must be there. If you've read your carrier guidelines, you know that there's a lot of information there to substantiate medical necessity and to meet carrier guidelines for documentation. A template is a great way to make sure you don't miss one of a lot of elements that has to be in your documentation. However, you can't stop there. So templates have pull-down menus that give you lots of things along the way to select and drag and drop. But the problem with templates is in our use of those templates. And where providers fall short is when they rely only on the templated information to substantiate the patient's care. You need to go a step beyond that. Now, one of the reasons why I believe often documentation is accused by a carrier of appearing templated is because a lot of information salts over from visit to visit to visit. That is inherent in a problem with the template. What often has happened over the course of time and edits and improvements and adding things to our documentation, a lot of providers neglect to remove information that doesn't have to be there. And that information salts over from visit to visit, and it gives the impression of the template causing a problem when it's actually superfluous information that doesn't have to be there that can be removed. A, it looks bad from a salting standpoint, but B, it looks bad because when you do make the effort to create unique content, it gets lost in the noise and the static of that superfluous information. Often providers will go to a documentation workshop. They'll understand that there's some more elements of documentation they need to put into their notes, and they do that without sitting down to think, what can be removed to make my notes clear, concise, and convey the information that I need to the carrier. Thanks for joining me. I hope that was helpful. Go check out my blog on itsmedre.com/blog. I talk a lot more about audits and documentation, and I hope to see you there.